Oh, I'm Marc. I used to be a senior artist at Blizzard Entertainment, and now I teach art for a living. In this new episode of my yet-to-be award-winning series I call YouTube Art School, we're gonna significantly level up your color theory knowledge in just a couple of minutes because I know you have no attention span. So if coloring has been a struggle, that's about to end. So let's get started. Alright, class is in session. Pay attention. Also, this class isn't free. You're gonna have to pay the class fee of either one like or one sub. No stealing. That's better. Let's get started. This class is going to be a super condensed and simplified version of what I teach in my full art program, but as a short YouTube video, I think you'll get a lot out of it, especially if you've been struggling with colors. First thing first, when we talk color theory, we gotta get on the same page regarding the basics. So let's start with the chromatic circle. This is the chromatic circle, and it's specific to the colors of light for digital art. Pigment colors have their own chromatic circle, and it's slightly different. Now, here we have all of the colors of the rainbow. This is what white light is made out of. You add all of these together, and well, you get the color white. What we see here is only a fraction of all the colors that we're able to see in art because it only represents the hue of the color. Hue represents the position on the chromatic circle. It's a light frequency, basically. When we talk about colors, we're really talking about the hue, but also the value and the saturation combined. Colors can be bright or dark, saturated or not, and of different hues. Now we should also quickly talk about color warmth, because there are colors that can be defined as warm colors and others as cool colors. Usually we'll split the chromatic circle this way to roughly indicate which color is cool or warm, but in reality, any color can take on any of the two roles. So here, for example, red, a typically very warm color. What happens when another type of red is right next to it, yet is not maybe as saturated and might have a bit of blue in it? Well, in this case, that red takes on the role of the cool color relative to the other red, because color warmth is relative, always. Remember this, independently, those two are clearly red, warm colors, but relative to each other, we don't perceive them to be the same warmth. And why bother learning all of this? Well, because color temperature plays a huge part in how we look at art. We're naturally attracted to warmer colors, and so they tend to get our attention more easily as opposed to cool colors. Think of it from the perspective of our genes and evolution. Way back in the days when we were living in caves and our most advanced technology was fire, a warm color like yellow and red like fire, that meant life. Where were we most comfortable? Well, right next to a warm fire in the middle of a cold night. And well, today as artists, we can use that fact to guide the attention to a particular part of a painting, because warm colors tend to attract attention while cool colors tend to recede in the background. And of course, all of this is going pretty fast, but if you're fascinated by colors like I am, we go into it a lot more in depth in my art program you can learn about with the link in the video description. The program contains, among many others, 2 extensive classes on color and light theory, and they're some of my favorites. The art school program is currently on sale for the holidays. You'll be able to get it at a huge discount until the end of the month, but the price goes up next month, so right now is the cheapest it'll ever be. Don't miss out. Join our awesome community of over 19,000 students. You'll be glad you did. What are you waiting for? All right, now that we have the basics down, we have a drawing here. How the heck do we choose the right colors for it? Let me show you a few color recipes that you can try right now, or as they could also be referred to, color harmonies. Those are basically guidelines to select a few colors that will ensure they work together harmoniously. It's very easy to select a team of colors that don't work well together. It's too easy. A color harmony, though, is a way to pick a great team all the time, or in this case, pick a good color palette all the time. There are many color harmonies, many more than I'll show today, but we'll look at a few of my favorite ones that also happen to be pretty easy to use. Now, the first and simplest color harmony is called monochromatic color harmony. And it's exactly what it sounds like. It's a color palette made up of all the same hue, but not necessarily the same value or saturation. And just in general too, don't stress out too much if you're not following like 100% of the recipe. Just like a real cooking recipe, you're always free to add some extra spices or whatever. Adjust it based on your preferences. Anyways, a monochromatic color palette might look something like this. It all looks basically the same color, except I did make some choices here to adjust the saturation and values to create more contrast around my focal point, aka the face of the character. And the focal point, by the way, being simply what the artist wants the audience to notice first, right? By introducing colors with darker and brighter values around this area, and by adding more saturation to my colors, most people will tend to look here first and then notice the rest after, because the rest has much less contrast in value and saturation. Contrast is exciting. No contrast, not exciting. And this will be the focus with the other color harmonies too. Always try to arrange the more visually exciting colors in your color palette around your focal point. Again, it's not just about the colors that you choose, it's how you use them. Moving on to the second color harmony then, one you might have never heard of before, a dyad harmony. Not a diet or not a dad harmony, a dyad. This one will be a combination of two colors that are separated by one color on the color wheel. These two colors, for example. Now, since we have more than one color, just like having more than one character in a drawing or in a movie, a hierarchy sets in. Some colors, just like characters, are more dominant than others, and as a result attract more attention. Like we saw with the monochromatic harmony, we can adjust the saturation and the values of our colors depending if we want them to pop or to be more discreet. Now, I'm choosing here to go with red as the lead color for my red and orange color palette, since it's naturally a slightly warmer color than orange, and hopefully we remember that warmer colors attract more attention, aka they make great lead colors. And then I'm going to take that orange and desaturate it to cool it down and make it more discreet. From here, if I were to use this color palette to color something, I'd use the vibrant red around my focal point, since it's now the lead color. The lead color will often be brighter, more saturated, and warm in temperature, and the same lead color will be the one that I feature most around my focal point. If I did the opposite and made the colors away from my focal point stand out more, it'll more likely than not create a very weird vibe when we look at this. Like we're being misdirected, kind of. I keep wanting to look over here because that's where the colors have the most contrast, but there's nothing worth looking at there. Oh, there's a lot of psychology involved in color theory, which is a big part of why it's so fascinating to me. Now, the third harmony is the complementary color harmony. This is one of my favorite because it's the most contrast we'll ever have in a color harmony. This one might be more familiar, but we'll go ahead and select two colors directly opposite on the chromatic circle. We just discussed ways to come up with a lead color and a secondary color, so this will apply here as well. But another thing we can do too is play with the amount of each color, not just the contrast between them. Whatever color I end up choosing as the lead color, I like to keep it in shorter supply on the drawing to create a sense of rarity. Rarity or scarcity is eye-catching. It's science. And that's going to be the end of this week's class. Now, go out there and color some stuff. Do it! Hope this was helpful. And you know what to do if it was. Tell your friends, tell your dog, yell about it to your neighbors in the middle of the night. They should all subscribe and learn art with us. Also, since you've been a good student, you get freebies. One of my 2 custom brush packs is available for download with the link in the video description, and it's free. And there you'll also find a link to some exercise files with a bunch of drawings you can practice coloring with if that helps. And also, don't forget, I have a huge discount on my art program until the end.